Hey everyone, it's Sunday the 24th of October. The time right now is 10 past 2 p.m. and the temperature is 32 degrees. We're just over Queensway here on a pedestrian bridge and we're in Alexandra. The idea is to sort of walk to the rail corridor over there. That's the old railway that used to go between Singapore and Malaysia. And it's now a really nice green trail sort of going through the city. And I wanted to see this area because I walked around there earlier in a part that was more like, I guess already with pavement and more sort of almost a jogging trail. So I was hoping I could find my way to this little stretch here in Alexandra that is quite close to where I actually finished the walk, and then walk past as far as sort of beyond the big Alexandra hospital site, following the rail corridor. And from there, I'm hoping to take an unofficial exit. I did that the last time as well. I kind of just got to a place where you can exit the trail. It doesn't have a lot of places where you can do that. A lot of the time there's a fence around as well. So my idea today is to find a place where I've seen people have sort of found an exit from the trail, and hopefully that will work for us. I'm just looking at my gimbal now. I can see it shaking in a weird way. Let me just restart the gimbal. I don't think anyone wants to watch that for very long. Just a second here. So hopefully I managed to get rid of that problem. It's something that sometimes appears if the gimbal overheats or such. Shouldn't have that problem today, but I usually also find a place where I can compare the horizon and see that it's straight. Looks okay against the railing there, I guess. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to enter the trail here rather than over there. This looks just about as official as my last entry to the railway corridor, but it looks like the right path there. So I see people on bikes. So this is actually marked into the map as an entrance to the trail. So here we go. And that's where we came from. Street over there. So this should take us about just over a kilometer. To Alexandra Road, sorry. There's some HDB buildings with probably quite nice green views over there. Let me just quickly check something else. That should be it for the checks before the walk. So from here I think we'll just keep making our way through the corridor, which is really lovely and green. There behind are some taller buildings which would also probably have a nice view. of greenery. There are lots of butterflies around today. I don't know if you can see that guy. It's lovely. And as I walk through here, I realized the path is probably continuing along here as well. I don't know if there still are those sort of parts of this trail where it's still kind of like a natural path. I'll have to find out. There are definitely some quite popular areas around other big parks. And in a way it's really nice. I mean, it wouldn't be very good to cycle unless you had a path, so I'm not saying it's bad, but it does become kind of like a path, trail, more like any other. Once it's paved, which is not a bad thing. Cities evolve, and definitely nice to walk on. It's an interesting path in that you're never really that far from the sort of city views, but it gets very green, and then the exits and entry points are not sort of everywhere, so you kind of have to look up where you're going, which is a good bike line anyway, anywhere. Some birds playing around in the bushes. Definitely has a really nice calming feel walking around here. And this is an area with a lot of sort of big roads around as well. You have the sounds of the nature. I mean, the microphone must be picking up that background noise of insects. So much around here that you just don't even begin to see. It's telling a little bit that it's around. Coming to a building here. I guess this would be one of those entry points that you could take into the path. That's even continuing on to the roads there. Oh, it's the mosque. I think I saw this, but I didn't realize that it would be visible from here. What a lovely green place for this place to be in. They had a parking lot there as well. I visited the one of the main universities, Nanyang Technological University. I hope that's coming to me correctly. It's been a bit of time since I was there, but that's also, or at least at the time, was kind of just like, as you went to the back of a building, suddenly you'd be faced with this amazing jungle view. They're really sort of on the edge of city areas. Bit of a trek, I guess. But it must be so lovely to work and study in that environment. kind of want to make my way to the other side, but I'll wait for the bike to go by. Don't want to sort of make my way into another person's path. They decided to not go past quickly. That's a really lovely house there. I think they have a pool as well. But it's nice when you're sort of in these areas that you also don't feel like you're in the middle of nowhere in the jungle. So this is kind of a very easy step to take to come somewhere like this and walk in this kind of greenery when you know you're so close to the city. Much more of a preparation needed for if you're going something like this further away from the city. But here you can basically just take the bus or public transport and you're here within minutes. Well, not for me, I took a bus for an hour, so that's not exactly accurate, but still from the bus stop you can get here very quickly. Look at these houses as well. Wonder what that is. Here's an industrial setting of some kind amidst the greenery. They seem to be hard at work, even on a Sunday. As are many others, of course. I think we're going to get a view of the really interesting building over there, which seems like it's different kind of box-shaped houses almost on top of each other. It's a bit of a famous one. You often see pictures of this one. And I do find it quite fun because it seems like those parts of the building are kind of hanging on thin air. I was looking at that one time, visiting one of the gardens nearby here, Fort Park, and I was looking at this building and trying to figure out where their lifts are, whether they have them, and if they do, then where is it going through the whole building. That's a fun game if you're looking at the building and you have a bit of time on your hands, like waiting for a bus or something. Of course, there will be people who know that. I think we're already sort of the side of Alexandra Hospital site. So not a terribly long walk if we can get out sort of somewhere around here using that unofficial exit from the trail. There's the hospital side, also surrounded by, well, very much a city on one side, but then this greenery as well. It would be nice if some of the people maybe spending a longer time there would be able to see the greenery. I have no idea if that's the case. That's the expressway there to my right. Again, adding more of a city vibe to this trail. Seems like mostly cyclists and walkers braving the weather this afternoon. I bet the joggers and runners will be around once the sun starts setting and it's not so warm anymore. It's one of the warmer days with 32 degrees. So here you can really see those units sort of hanging over the edge of the rest of the building. So there is like a path up here. We could take that. I'm not sure if this is the one I looked up, but I guess we've seen a bit of that greenery. And it does look like I'll be able to make my way through here. To what though is the question. Is there like a pedestrian walkway there? Just see some greenery which I don't want to go through. Well, we can always go back if it's not looking promising. Which way to go? Roots or just kind of a smooth surface? Well, this has kind of been shaped like steps, and with a gimbal and one hand. That's an interesting adventure. Yeah, we're going to have to go over this, I think. Maybe through there. This is not the smartest choice. There are proper exits and entrances to that place. But we have found ourselves on the Alexandra Road, which was where I wanted to be. So we've come through this. Clearly a path, but can't really say it kind of takes you anywhere. Wow, he was not happy at the cars turning there. I'm going to do a quick map check here, just to make sure we're heading to the right direction on Alexandra. Bear with me, and we'll keep going shortly. So the map check has been completed, and I'm on the map. This is a kind of annoying bridge because these I guess, tiles can lift off a little bit as you step on them, which doesn't make it feel so wonderful to walk on. Here is AYE, an expressway, and these cars are heading towards to us. Not terribly busy for a Sunday afternoon, I guess. Other people with a camera and dressed for hiking, I think. Here's that building again, and that would be a view towards the Alexandra Hospital. So I'm hoping to just continue along here a little bit. I'm not going to go under the bus though. Now you can still see me, even though it's one of these ones where pedestrians have the right of way. If there's a truck stopping for me and then there's a bus behind it, I'd rather wait to see the bus notices me as well. Let's see. Here we go. Road crossed. So we're just next to Road Park, which is a nice area as well with a garden. But I was not thinking of going there today. Then, sort of on the left side, you continue that way, you get the southern ridges. Also a really interesting park there. But I think I'm going to head towards the start of the Alexandra Garden Trail. I think that bridge over there is part of the trail that would then lead you from Alexandra towards the southern ridges. And it's really cool because they have this like elevated walkways where you walk above the greenery. That's a really cool walk for someday. When I'm feeling up to sort of braving some heights. Maybe crossing would be a good idea though, if I can get to the other side. Oh well, there is a light actually, and that's the Alexandra Garden Trail. So I think that will be the easiest way, although that bridge does look kind of cool. You know what? I think it does have stairs on the other side. Let's just go and have a look, because I think we'll have a look at the walkways that I mentioned as well. We go over there. You see at least a ramp coming down on the other side as well, so should be okay if we just cross the bridge and have a look. I think that will bring us to the end of this walk as well. So I hope you enjoyed having a look at the rail corridor in Alexandra. And a glimpse of Alexandra Road as well, I guess. It's not really possible to see the gardens from here. They're sort of further on along those roads. But maybe from higher up we'll have a view. Here's a nice place to do your international MBA. At least the views are good. So we'll go up and have a look, and I think we'll be able to see the forest walkway from here. So you'll be able to connect to a lot of other parks using these walkways. Sort of towards Port Park. And the arch is called Alexandra Arch. It has these lights in the evening that change shade. It's really warm here with the sun directly above. This the greenery at Port Park, it goes much further than that. There are quite large areas back there as well. So here are the stairs, but I'll just walk a little tiny bit further to show you what it's all about. Oh, they had the reaction I'd have there. I have a fear of heights, which I've mentioned before. And it's sometimes okay in places like this, especially if I cannot see what's below. But for this, I'd really have to sort of gather up my courage. It looks like a really nice walk though. And it goes all the way up there to the treetops. Without a camera, you know, this would probably be okay, but sort of having that feeling of being really high up and seeing down and then holding the gimbal. I think we'll leave it for another day. We'll come a bit of a way anyway, and this was pretty cool to see actually from the bridge itself. So as I'm going to make my way down, thank you so much for joining me today. If you'd like to see more videos from Singapore, all around the city, then if you haven't subscribed already, you can do that and find out when new videos are published on this channel. Maybe this kind of treetop walk will be my kind of thank you when I reach 1,000 subscribers or something like that. We'll see what I come up with. I'll need a good reason to go though. I'll find my courage at some point. Anyway, thank you for today. And I'm going to make my way towards what looks like the closed entrance to Alexandra Garden Trail. There seems to be a map there, so I'll check that and see if I can continue along some nice part of the city, surrounded by some greenery. I think there's a spider somewhere up there. I would rather not see a spider either. So with that, thank you so much guys, and I hope I'll see you again soon.